Hey, welcome. If you hear us say anything in this podcast that sounds fucked up, we're probably joking, so calm down. Also, sorry for all the profanity.
Just some guys. Just some guys. Just some guys. Just some guys. Podcast.
Welcome,
What
everybody.
the fuck was that?
Welcome, everybody, to the Just Some Guys podcast. I'm Matt, and that's Brody over there, who's questioning my authority.
Yeah.
Say hi, Brody.
Hi. What?
Hey, everybody. Guess what? We're on YouTube now. We're on YouTube. Go and look us up. Just Some Guys podcast. Subscribe and share with all your friends, everybody. Do it.
If you put in Just Some Guys podcast in the YouTube search, we're the first ones to come up.
You're lying.
No, I'm not.
You're lying. I'm doing it right now.
I did it right now.
Just...
Boom.
Your computer's not
Very
as
top,
good as mine,
baby.
though. Just Some Guys podcast.
You do have to add podcast, but
Oh my gosh, there it is!
we're number one.
Right underneath
We're
some
number none.
black guy, or right above some black guy. That's his username, not me being racist.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, it is some black guy.
And he's verified and everything. Wow, we're above a verified guy.
Damn.
Yep. And look, there's one of our episodes right there, episode 9 or episode 29.
You know what's weird is that it only has 25 views, and I swear that there should be more people listening to this. You motherfuckers!
All right, man, calm down. Our last video got shit views, but whatever, man. Podbean doesn't take into account the YouTube videos, so combined we got 10 views on YouTube, and then on Podbean we got 2. So we're famous as fuck.
We are so famous.
And everybody loves us.
What is this this background on our banner on our YouTube page?
It's one that a buddy made for me a while back when I was trying to start a YouTube channel that I just stopped doing.
Okay.
And it is my logo. It is, I mean, it's hard to see because the resolution is really weird, but it's an M.
And then an upside down A?
Yeah, where the top of the M is.
Okay. Fucking
my
gay.
Why are
I mean,
you
that's
so
cool,
mean to me?
man. No, I'm not mean to you.
Better fucking.
I'm not mean to you. It's whoever made that is fucking real bad.
That was David.
Oh, David, I'm sorry.
He's not sorry, David. He's the worst.
I'm not.
He's the worst human being in the world. Worst in the world.
Man.
So how you been, man? How's your week been?
Pretty good. Stayed at the folks last night because, they live 3 minutes from where I'm doing my clinical right now. So me and Reptar went over to my parents' house and hung out over there for the night. And it was nice because I got to sleep in a little bit, and I was only like 3 minutes from my work. So it's always nice when you can do that instead of a 50-minute drive. I could have rode my bike to work, but yeah. And then same shit, different day. Clinical, homework, clinical, homework.
You're leading an exciting life, my friend.
Kill me.
Jeez, dude. With the noises, man.
But yeah, nothing too exciting this week. What about you? What have you been up to? Don't care.
Jeez, what have I been up to?
Did you do this week?
Same thing as you, but what I do instead.
Work.
Work and video games is pretty much
Vinci games.
Work, video games, eat, sleep. Work, video games, eat, sleep. That's my rinse and repeat. The rinse and repeat of my life.
I did find out this week that Oaklawn has a very nice breakfast menu at their cafeteria in the hospital I'm at.
Oh, by all means, let's talk about the breakfast menu at a hospital for sure.
It's just
what kind of wonderful things do they have on the breakfast menu?
Well, let's see. Yesterday I had eggs Benedict with hash browns and bacon for $5.
What eggs? What is eggs Benedict exactly? I've heard that a million times, and I don't know what it is.
It is a poached egg.
Oh, it's a poached egg. Okay.
On top of Canadian bacon and a English muffin.
Gross.
With hollandaise sauce over the top of it.
And what is hollandaise sauce exactly?
I don't know. It's yellow. It kind of looks like snot.
I went to my favorite breakfast place in Battle Creek. Just
Little Chef.
It's cheap and it's close, and it's like on the way home. And the omelets there are like, they must use 17 eggs to make those omelets.
Are they massive?
It's enormous. I mean, I knew that they serve a lot of food at that place, but I was not expecting that at all.
Yeah, I had no idea because anytime we've ever gone there, I always get the same thing.
Yeah, me too.
So you switched it up a little.
No, I just went with other people.
Ah.
And they got things.
Mm-hmm. Did they get omelets?
Yeah.
You're a fucking sheep.
What?
You're a sheep.
Why am I a sheep?
Because you only eat what the other people eat.
I didn't get an omelet.
You eat.
I didn't get an omelet. I got the same thing I always get.
Oh.
I got eggs, corned beef hash browns, and toast.
Mmm.
Because I'm a creature of habit.
That sounds so good right now.
I did watch a movie recently.
Well, hold on. Let me tell you what hollandaise sauce is.
Okay, fine. Jesus.
Also referred to as Dutch sauce.
That's right.
Is an emulsion of egg yolk, liquid butter, water, lemon juice, whisked together over low heat on a double boiler. Oh, okay. Additional salt, white pepper, or cayenne pepper, which is used for seasoning. So, yeah, there you go. No, I have no idea what a double boiler is.
It sounds so good, but I don't really like it that much.
You know, I know I've had eggs Benedict before, and I think what makes it is the sauce, but the sauce is just mediocre. So, but I mean, I can't complain. It's $5, and it was a lot of food. Okay, so Matt,
let's talk about some movies that I watched.
Movies. What'd you watch?
I watched a Will Smith movie from the 90s. I think it's the 90s. 1998, called Enemy of the State. Have you ever
Men
seen
in Black?
movie?
Oh. Yeah, no, Enemy of the State is very good.
I did. I liked it. That didn't make sense in context of what you said, but I did. I liked it. I don't know. It was just a cool little conspiracy, like NSA, evil government people doing evil things. And I feel like this was, at the time... Actually, it seems like it kind of came in before there was a whole scare about, like, the government monitoring everything, you know? Like the Patriot Act and good old President Bush tapping everybody's, you know, telephones to listen for terrorist things, and people were all worried about that. This, I feel like, came a little bit before that.
If it did, it was very close to being around the same time.
Well, 9/11 was in 2001, and this movie came out in 1998, and I feel like 9/11 was like a big thing. That's when that kind of thing really started, you know. I don't know. I was really young at the time, obviously not at all into politics. So I was literally in 5th grade when 9/11 happened. So
oh my God, I was a senior.
I didn't give not even 2 shits. Not even 2 of them. I gave 1, but not 2.
Gave one shit. You said, "Oh, planes." That's what you were concerned with. You were like, planes.
I honestly don't think I really understood what was going on. It was just all the teachers were freaking out and they let us out of school early. And then I got home and it was just watching it on the news by myself because my parents were still at work. And I just didn't really understand. It was like, it just didn't really hit home to me. I was like, well, some planes ran into a building. And I think I understood the severity.
Like that people had died.
Well, I understood that it was a really big deal, but I guess since I was just a little kid, I didn't really give a shit.
Yeah, right.
I was just like, this is crazy.
I remember being pretty numb to the whole thing while it happened. Like seeing it live on TV was a pretty surreal experience. But then
finally happened. This is a podcast where we have so little to talk about that we're talking about where we were on 9/11.
No, dude, that's one of those things where people always say, you'll never forget where you were when this happened. And it's true, you won't.
That's what I'm getting at.
It's I got home from school because they let us out early too, and my parents were still at work as well, but I wasn't a baby. I was a senior in high school, and I don't know. I got really angry for some reason. I just remember being really angry. And
were you one of those people who rushed out to join the army, but they told you can't join because you're too stupid?
No, I never had any desire to like go out and join the army so I could like fight Al Qaeda. But I don't know. I just got really upset. Not like crying, but I was mad, and I don't know who I was mad at. I was just mad.
You're just upset in general.
Yeah, and then that faded, and like I don't know, the next day. I was just like, that's fucked up. But I wasn't mad anymore. It's super weird.
As a child, I was more hurt by watching Titanic than I was 9/11. Titanic had me just bawling.
Yeah, man, you had a connection to good old Leonardo DiCaprio.
I did not. I had zero connection. For me, it was just a part of everyone drowning on the boats and those violin and that little like string quartet that was like playing a song.
Playing as they go down.
Yeah.
That was great.
Well, there's not enough lifeboats. Might as well just play till we die.
That's a great part in that movie. I've never seen it, but
I was just about to call you out and be like, how would you know if you didn't see it? But I watched that, and I watched an anime movie that is a Netflix exclusive called Blame. And the name doesn't make any sense as to what the movie's about. The only
Did you say Blame?
Yeah.
Okay.
What, did I stutter?
That sounded like you said Blaine.
Blame with an M.
Blame.
And it's, I don't know. I had mixed feelings about it. On one hand, I was like, this is kind of boring, but on the other hand, I was like, this is kind of interesting. And one of the main characters, shut up phone, was just really he was a really, really weird character. Like, he said everything excruciatingly slow, was very silent. And when he did talk, he just, it was like the words were just like seeping out of him, like you were trying to like shove like cookie dough through a strainer. It was very excruciatingly slow. And it was like nothing he had to say was super profound or anything like that. It was just like, hey guy, who are you? And he's like, I'm Fuckface. I can't remember his name. It started with a K, I think, but I don't remember.
Yeah, fuckface. Good old K word.
And but yeah, I mean, it was. I liked the setting and the storyline and the idea of what was happening. Well, okay, let me just lay it out for you. All right, it was the beginning of the anime starts out, and there's all these people wearing like these futuristic looking suits, and they're in this giant, like, huge city, but it's like a derelict city. Like, there's no sky. The city envelops everything,
Snoozing, snoozing, snoozing. Snoozing, snoozing, snoozing.
Shut up. Let me finish my story.
Okay, sorry, go ahead.
Like you have anything better to talk about.
I have nothing.
So the city is like all enveloping. Like I said, there's no sky. It's as if the city is like tall enough that it reaches the atmosphere. And there is no sky, is what it seems like. And they all live like beneath it.
Oh, okay.
And the synopsis is like that there are these robots who are building the city, and at one point they just went out of control and are continually building and rebuilding the city forever. And the humans are just bystanders to this. There's nothing they can do. The machines are way more powerful, and they don't listen to the humans anymore. And
so they're self-aware?
I don't know about that. They just see the humans as a thing that needs to be eradicated.
Okay.
But so it's the city that's locked and ever expanding, and it starts out on this like small squad of like they look like kids, maybe like teenagers, 15, 16, and they're all in these like weird futury suits of armor, and they're running through the city. All like super tactical and stuff. And they have like these cool ass guns that at first you think are these weird energy weapons, but it turns out they're like these weird double barreled harpoon guns.
What?
Which really like it kind of mind fucked me. I was like, well, what? Like this is like a future thingy, but they got stupid little harpoon guns. I don't understand that. So it becomes clear that they're looking for food and that their village has a food problem. And they're out and about looking for food, and they trigger this thing called a watchtower, which sends a billion machines after them, and they start dying. And the other guy, the boring guy I was telling you about, we'll call him K-Man. K-Man comes with this giant, just like it's like a tiny little pistol, but it's called like a gravity beam or something, and it's just a ridiculous powerful weapon, and it shoots out like a giant beam that eradicates everything, and it's got like an 8-meter radius, not 8 meters, like it's got like maybe let's say like an 8-foot radius. Is it a radius? A radius is all the way across the circle, right? And not halfway?
Radius is, all the way across.
Okay, yeah, so it's got like an 8-foot radius. It's freaking just a huge beam. And he comes in with that thing and saves the day. And they're like, hey, who are you? And he's like, I'm K-Man. And they were like, wow, that was awesome. And he was like, hey, does anyone here have the net something gene? Or hey,
oh man,
does
radius is not. It's from the center.
Have the net something gene?
What?
And they were all like, we don't know what you're talking about, but you're super useful. You want to come back to our village and like we'll help you out and you help us out and we'll exchange information and stuff? And he was like, sure. And not only he does everything,
like super monotone too.
Yes, extremely. He's the most boring character of all time. I know that they were trying to make him like super like badass and brooding and
right,
like just like a space cowboy, like just like a desperado drifter kind of guy. But and he did come off that way, but he just came off as a really boring one of those.
Right.
And so they all go back to the village, and the village is protected by this weird like force field, but it's not like visible. It's just like an invisible force field that makes it so the machines can't see them there, and they can't even enter the village. And that's what keeps them safe there. And so they're afraid that he's a safeguard, which is what the machines that come to kill them are. And once he crosses the threshold into the village, they realize that he's not, and then they kind of friendly up to him a little bit.
Okay.
So, but this guy, K-Man, is obsessed with finding a human that has that net whatever gene. Because evidently, the humans, centuries ago, because this takes place like generations and generations and generations after the humans lost control of the city. So all the people alive in this village, that village is all that they know. They have zero education. All they understand is their gear, and they need food and water to survive. And that's their whole life. And
Okay.
the machines are evil. They don't know how they're there or why any of it's happened. To them, this world is everything. The city is everything that they know. So they're like totally dumb.
Okay. All right.
They don't come off that way, but it's not like they're standing around like, oh, you know, they seem like normal people. It's just their knowledge of what has happened
ignorant.
is, yeah, they're ignorant. Stupid. You're still ignorant.
By the way,
Yeah.
the radius is from the center of the circle.
So what, I know, does it start with a C?
Diameter.
I'm thinking diameter. What the C thing is
Circumference.
circumference. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. We're not totally dumb. We're just half dumb. So anyways, they get to this village, and K-Man's like, hey, is Gene, anybody? Gene? And one of the elders in the village is like, well, there used to be talk of this place beneath the village that is haunted, and they tell us not to go there because it's spooky, and everyone who goes there doesn't return, and blah, 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 you know.
Right.
So I was like, ooh, if there's any semblance or possibility of me learning anything about the gene, I'm going to go there. And while they're going there, they're talking to him, and they split the city up into levels, and that's how they like navigate it. Like they live on one level, and then like there's a lot of levels.
Are the levels, I'm getting too deep into this now. Are the levels like, do they separate by like
Think of it as like floors in a
status?
skyscraper. No, there's no status. As far as the people in the village know, they're the only people that exist. They've never seen anyone else. Just machines.
and they're all equally
It's too dangerous to venture.
or
Yeah, they're all equal. There's no, the elders are like in charge, but not in like a snooty way.
right.
They're not like the king. It's just everyone looks to the elder to make the decisions. But just think of the levels as like a level in a skyscraper. You know, it's just strictly one level's higher or lower than the other. And so when K-Man shows up, he brings out this little brick of food. And when they get back and they've lost a couple of people and they've lost some equipment and batteries to run their equipment, it's seen as like a big loss, and everyone's really mad at the kids for leaving because they lost like equipment that they can never replace and people and stuff like that. But then K-Man comes up and he pulls something out of his pack, and it's just like a little like Lego brick with like instructions, like pictured instructions on it. And they throw it in water and it turns into like a giant poof of like bread or something, some kind of food. And it like temporarily saves the village from starving to death because they were like almost totally out of food. So
Okay.
that becomes their like their motive. It's like, where can we get more of this? We need food, man. And so they're like, all right, we'll help K-Man out. And maybe K-Man says, they were like, where did you get this? And he's like, I got it from 2,000 levels down.
No,
And
he said, I got it. 200 levels
2,000.
down.
Dude,
Is that really
did you
how
voice
he
him?
talks?
That is exactly how he talks. You nailed it. You did way better than I have so far.
Oh, that's funny.
But well, there's no way in hell we could go that far to get more. And so, anyways, he had cool food, and they were like, and basically all of this is just building K-Man's backstory.
He had cool food. Hey, man, he's got some cool food.
Basically all of this was just building K-Man's backstory.
Okay.
So like he's a wanderer, and he's like a huge badass who can survive anything, and he's been everywhere, and he's just searching the entire city for someone who has the fucking net whatever gene. So they go down to the spooky place that's haunted. And I remember I talked about watchtowers earlier. There are these towers that detect human life and send the fucking safeguard guys to exterminate it. So they go down there, and there's a watchtower down there, but they learn that for some reason when K-Man's around, the watchtowers just ignore him. And that's never explained. That's just a thing. The watchtowers ignore K-Man and whoever's around him for some reason.
Now, are you to the end of the series so far?
What?
Are you done with the series so that you know for a fact that they don't?
Oh yeah, I'm totally done. It's just a movie.
Okay. Oh, it's a movie. Oh, okay, I thought this was a series.
No, it's a movie.
Okay, and they just never explain it?
Yep, it's never
Ew,
explained.
that would bother me.
Yeah, well, like I said, I'm kind of meh on this, but it's still interesting. I feel like if someone else had been given this idea, they could have made it much better. But anyways, continuing, they go down there, and K-Man immediately he like senses a thing, and he lifts up a huge piece of rubble. He says he's human, but he's like ridiculously strong, which is also never explained. And he's got weird cyber eyes. And he's like scanning everything constantly. So he lifts up this giant piece of rubble, and there's like this, if you can imagine like a disembodied torso with like one like arm that's that's like cut off at the elbow, and then the other arm's totally gone. And it's like, imagine that part of a human torso partially decomposed so that you can see its like skull a little bit, except for it's like a cyborg body, but it has skin on it. And underneath the skeleton is like a cyborg or like a robot. And that's what he finds. And he smashes it against a wall a couple times, and it wakes up, and it's this chick named S Lady.
I love that you don't know any of their names.
Dude, they're all just weird Japanese names, man. I can never remember the Japanese names unless I hear them a bunch of times. Anyways, so S Lady is like, hey, I'm a scientist. And she's the one that created the device that keeps the village safe, the weird force field. And he's like, do you know anyone with the net whatever gene? And she's like, no, but that machine over there is a machine I created forever a billion, bajillion, gabillion seconds ago. That's how she said it in terms of seconds. She counted like seconds for some reason.
Did she really?
Yeah. She's like, I've been waiting for rescue for 5,466,432, seconds.
Billion seconds.
And so she's like, yeah, that machine I created over there can do the same thing. Because did I already say this? The net whatever gene is what allowed the humans in the beginning to control the machines. And then eventually it kind of was bred out of the humans for some, not on purpose. It just stopped showing up in newborns. And that's what caused the machines to do their own thing.
Yeah, man.
So she was like, that machine over there will give us control of the machines again, I guess. And she's like, but that one's busted as fuck.
I guess.
She was like, but that one's busted as fuck. If you take me to an automatic factory, I can build you a new one. And also, I can build this village, a million more of those little tiny food Legos that you brought. So everyone has a motivation. So they all band together, and the guy straps the torso chick, S Lady. K-Man straps her to his back, and they go on a big journey, like a 3-day journey, to get to this automated factory. And they get there. There's not a whole lot that happens. They fight some machines, like once, and then boom, they're at the factory. So they get to the factory, and the chick makes S Lady makes a bunch of food, and they're like, oh my god, look at all this food, and they carry as much as they can. And meanwhile there's a bunch of weird like character arcs between relationships that the characters have that are so bad. It's like one character seems like she's like the little sister of the group, and a couple of the characters seem really attached to her, but there's never any like backstory as to why that is. It's just that's how it is.
It's just that's that. Seems like there's a lot of that in this show or in this movie.
A whole lot of it. But so there's a whole lot of that, but it's not worth mentioning. So they pack up the food, and then the lady makes the machine, and then she like goes offline for some reason. And they think that she's dead, and her little corpse gets crushed by safeguards that came to attack them when they started doing all that. They got triggered when the The safeguards got triggered when they started messing with the factory. So now they're like in a full-on retreat, and it's all super hectic, and they're running out of spears, and the safeguards just keep coming, and the normies get separated from K-Man because he's totally focused on getting this machine. And then one of the little automated factory thingies lights up, and S-Lady rebuilt herself, and she's like a super tall, like 10-foot tall, like sexy robot girl, but not like overly. I don't know. It's kind of weird to describe. She's not like a big boobed, like ridiculous, like typical anime sexy girl.
Oh.
She's just, I don't know. She's just a big robot girl, and she's also badass. And so she catches up with them, and they all escape. A couple people die. Little sister girl gets left behind, and they freak out and go back and save her. But after that, she starts acting weird. Ooh, what's happening?
Uh-oh.
She's acting weird. So they get back to the village, and all seemingly good. They get all their food, and they're happy, and they're having a feast to honor all the people that died, getting their food and stuff. And K-Man and S-Girl. There's also a weird like romance thing going on between like the lead normie girl, whose name I just won't even attempt to remember. But there's two main characters. Like a teenage girl with the village, and then K-Man are like the two main characters. And teenage girl from the village seemingly has some kind of crush on K-Man, but K-Man is just a huge dick and totally doesn't acknowledge it or doesn't realize it.
No, man, K-Man don't need nobody.
He don't need no one, man, exactly. But I still feel bad for teenage girl. Anyways.
These names are amazing.
K-Man.
K-Man, S-Girl, and Teenage Girl.
Yeah. So, S-Girl comes and steals K-Man away because he did a crazy thing. Evidently, he can only use the crazy gravity beam once in a while because it drains him like a shit ton or whatever. And he had to use it a couple times. And in order to do that, he had to inject himself with some kind of weird drug. And it makes him go to sleep after that happens. So he's been sleeping on the whole return journey, and he just finally woke up. And teenage girl was sitting by his bedside talking to him and tending to him, and then he woke up and just left and didn't even say a word to her.
Of course not, man.
And so S-Girl comes and she's like, yeah, the machine's ready. I've got it hooked up to the thing. Let's go do this. And then little sister girl from the village turns out that she was replaced by an evil, super high-level safeguard, which looks like an evil version of S-Girl, but she's got a big arm cannon like Samus. And this character is really fucking cool looking. Just a badass-looking character. I loved the character design for this character. She was like the last boss or whatever of the movie, basically. And she was a badass. And she was just... what she did is when she was disguised as little sister girl, she went and got a harpoon gun and walked up to the ledge and shot the little device that kept the safeguards out. So as soon as that happened, their village got totally swarmed by safeguards, led by super high level badass safeguard chick, and they were just murdering the whole village. And S lady was down on the device doing what she had to do, but while she was doing it, she was like unable to protect herself. Like she was, her body was just a husk because her mind was like in the machine trying to do whatever the fuck it has to do to get the machine to listen to the humans again.
Right.
So at this point, K-Man has like a change of heart. All the way through the whole movie, he's totally invested in the machine and getting that whole thing done. But then when he looks back and sees that the village is under attack by Super Safeguard Lady, he just ditches S Lady and goes back and tries to save the village. So that means that S Lady is totally unguarded.
Oh.
And so he goes back and he's fighting Super Safeguard Lady, and it's an epic brawl. Suddenly he's not slow as fuck anymore. He's a badass fighter now. And they end up. I mean, it's kind of a long, drawn out fight scene where a lot of actiony things are happening, and it's pretty cool. It's the coolest part of the movie, simply because badass Safeguard Girl is so cool, and then K-Man's not being a slow, boring person anymore. And so they kill the Safeguard lady after a while, but during all of that, S-Girl got destroyed again, and so did the machine.
Jesus.
And so you think all of that shit is just done for? Like there's no hope for restoring control of the machines again, because S Lady's the only one that could have controlled the auto factory, and now that she's gone,
all hope is lost.
All hope is lost, basically. But then the
fuck.
hand of S Lady that turned into a weird robot. Just imagine like your forearm with spider legs on it. That. Well, it's a robot. It's not.
Don't care.
It's not a human arm. So, hand version of S Lady comes up from the bottom. She was like, "My brain is in my arm." They didn't know that.
No.
That's what she said. My brain is in my arm. So she comes back and she was like, "While I was in the machine, I learned that basically there's no hope. Even if they still did have the machine, there was still no hope for regaining control. You need a person with net gene or whatever to control the machines. Not even the machine can do it. That was a false hope all along. But she did learn that there is a secret level in between levels in the city that is totally unmonitored by the watchtowers. So, and if they can get there, then they'll be safe forever as long as they stay in that level. So that becomes the new goal.
Okay.
And so they get in an elevator, and K-Man sacrifices himself to save them all so they can all get to the level. And then it jumps forward like a couple of generations, and main teenager villager chick's granddaughter or great-granddaughter or something is monologuing about how they're all... Everyone that was involved in that incident is like a legend, and they're like a big, that like they're saviors, and how they all live in this Garden of Eden of the weird half level that the safeguards don't monitor, and then it just ends there.
That's it?
That's it.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. I feel like I explained it in pretty good detail, but it doesn't do it.
It's only been 45 minutes.
It doesn't do it justice. The action scene was cool, and something did keep me watching it. But I will say that now that you've heard me walk you through the whole thing, I mean, I would only even recommend watching that one like fight scene at the end.
Really?
That'd be the only thing worth watching, just because I like the design of that Safeguard chick so much.
Right.
But yeah, so that was pretty meh. A lot of the Netflix original series, like anime, specifically the anime ones that are Netflix originals, have been kind of garbage.
They haven't been great.
I've watched a decent amount of them and not been impressed. There's another one called Cyber something. Oh, there it is right there. Blame. You want to hear the official synopsis? See how close I am?
Is it 9 hours long?
No, it's only like an hour and 45 minutes.
No, I mean the synopsis. Because your synopsis was 9 hours long.
It was not 9 hours long. And shut up. We've already talked about the fact that we have nothing else to talk about.
I fell asleep during your...
So quit giving me shit. You piece of shit. And I lost it now.
Oh, what'd you do that for?
It's gone forever. It's gone forever. Oh, there it is again.
Boom.
The endless city no longer responds to humans. Its guardians treat them as vermin. He's fighting to change that.
That's it.
That's it.
It's like the ending.
He's fighting.
Yeah, and it doesn't explain. That synopsis is just like the fucking movie.
It's not really a synopsis. It's just like a little like one line thing that when you mouse over the thing on Netflix, it's like
right.
Here's
this. But who is he?
Does it really need to explain that?
It doesn't give his name.
It doesn't really need to explain that.
I would have laughed if you would have read it off and it would have been like K-Man. K-Man's trying to stop it.
His name might as well have been K-Man. I mean, it was just a normal S. It was like Kintaro or Kiri or Kuri or something like that.
Kamaru.
Colostomy bag.
Ew.
So let's talk about video games.
Ooh.
Thank goodness I had watched a movie to soak up all that time.
Thank God.
It's no wonder we only have 11 listeners with such riveting content as this.
Enthralling.
Mm-hmm. And it really helps that you're so enthusiastic.
Well,
I think that you're single-handedly bringing down this podcast by not sharing it and giving me shit when I try to do things.
I've shared all of them for like
single-handedly
5 weeks.
Not more than once. You got to do it more than once, man. People don't see that shit on Facebook. It depends on when they check it.
I'll keep
the
sharing.
The only people who can just see it whenever they want are people who are subscribers to us on Facebook, and we have on YouTube, and we have 11 of those. So that means we have kind of, in quotations, 11 for sure listens. And that is super not always the case.
No.
So our largest potential audience is in Facebook. And if you share it once at like 10 at night, the chances of someone saying it of someone seeing it are very small.
Yeah, I guess.
How often do you sit down and look through your Facebook feed completely until you see the last thing that you recognize? Never.
At night, I go as far back until I get bored.
Exactly. So fuck you. Basically.
Sometimes that can be pretty long.
So fuck you, basically.
So Matt and I, I'm going to give his jaw a break. We played Overwatch together.
And I've still been playing Overwatch. I played it today and yesterday.
Are we going to play tomorrow?
I'm still playing a lot of Overwatch, man. I'm down.
Yes, because I don't have anything to do tomorrow.
Oh, wait, I do have... Oh, wait, that's Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yay! Yes, I had a lot of fun playing Overwatch with Matt. And, yeah,
Just call this the Overwatch podcast.
The new event started. There's new skins, and everybody has their new dancing emote, and there's new icons and new maps, and it's been pretty fun. Although I think most people are on the same page when it comes to the 3v3. No one's too thrilled about the whole you can only use one player once if you win.
I don't know. I kind of like it now after playing it some more.
Now at the same time, did you play the 1v1?
Yeah, I played it once and got killed, and then I was like, I'm done.
I liked the way they did that.
It was close.
I murdered the person that I played.
Well, good for you.
I beat him like 5-1.
Well, good for you.
The Widowmaker was a choice 4 times in a row. And Widowmaker.
That'll do it.
I went Widowmaker, and then they had Widowmaker again. And this person was Widowmaker with me every single time. Actually, so there were 4 Widowmakers at the end. I did 3 out of 4. He did 4 out of 4. And the third one, I picked Genji because he was an option. And I just walked around the corner and let the dude line up on my head, and I just did the deflection shot and killed him. It was fucking hilarious.
That is hilarious.
It was, dude. It was fucking hilarious.
So I've been doing... What did you say?
No, that was it.
Oh, I've been doing the mystery heroes a lot because it's the only way I can guilt-free get good at other characters. And I'm starting to get really good with Soldier 76, And
Yeah,
I'm
you
actually
were doing really good when we were playing just, the other day. You were doing pretty good with him.
and also I'm starting to not be total garbage with Genji too. I'm starting to understand how to play him.
He's a good one to get good with, because good Genji players can ruin whole games for entire teams.
I've started thinking him like I just had to get myself in like the Tracer mindset with him. Just like move around a lot and be harassment. Don't like sit back and throw your stars hoping that that'll do the trick. You're supposed to like jump around and do your little dash move, because it's like a slashy dash, which does a lot of damage.
Yes.
I try to pick off like the characters with the lowest HP, like healers and attackers and stuff.
Just get in and get out.
Yeah.
It's a good strategy. Healers especially. Killing the healers is huge.
Oh yeah. It's huge.
It's huge, darn
It's huge.
It don't matter what game mode you play. You kill a healer, you do huge.
So yeah, basically I'm at least for probably very temporarily, I'm back on the Overwatch bandwagon.
Yay! I'll take temporarily
every day this week. And in other news, in quest news,
yeah, quest news.
I have beat Nier Automata.
Ooh, completely?
Well, I was gonna get to that.
Okay.
It's I've completed all three of the playthroughs. Which the first playthrough is 2B, the second playthrough is 9S, and the last playthrough is A2. Which are all, if you don't know, those are all characters in the game. They're all androids, so they have numbers as names or whatever. Who fucking cares? Anyways, so that's 3 full playthroughs, which I think is everything. I very, very briefly started a fourth playthrough. I got a whole bunch of new items for beating the third playthrough. And I'm not sure if those items were just like, hey, that's everything, you beat it, here's some items to play through the game, and now you have some cool cosmetic stuff, and there's a debug mode now so you can spawn in enemies and kind of fuck around inside the game world and just have fun. I think that's where I'm at. That being said, I skipped some side quests for 9S because I just don't care at all about 9S. And I haven't finished. I think there's still one more mission in the DLC I have to do. But for all intents and purposes, for now, I beat the game and I'm considering it completed. I'm not going to uninstall it like I usually do. I'm going to keep it installed and probably eventually go back and finish off the last couple of things I haven't done. But like the main story is over. And it was a fun game. I really liked the story, but just the gameplay and the same old goddamn map got so old.
Oh, I bet.
It was so old just running around. How many hours? I'm going to look up how many hours I put into that game. How many hours of the same freaking map did I run around in? Where is it? Where? Load faster. Freaking 60 hours of the same map.
Oh,
just
boy.
Running around. Oh, wow. I got a lot of the achievements. I got 31 out of 47 achievements without even trying.
Damn.
So that was the only thing I didn't like. And honestly, it was kind of a big thing. Because a lot of it was just downtime of me running in between main story missions, fighting the same enemies in the same way.
Right.
And it just got really old.
Super repetitive.
But when I did do a story mission, I was very invested. I really enjoyed the story. It was a good story. That being said, the ending, I read a decent amount of the little text lore and stuff.
Okay.
But not all of it, so I don't fully understand the ending. Plus, in the end, there was like a branching off path where you could play as one of the two different characters. There was the final fight, right? You could play as either character in the fight, and you got to choose which character you played, which basically means which character is going to win the fight, which also in turn means which ending are you going to get.
Okay.
But in order for me to see that, there's a chapter select now. Yeah, so I could just do that. So there's a second ending, I think, to the last playthrough, the third playthrough, which I think might explain some of the things that I'm confused about. Because the ending was just like, well, I'm not going to spoil it because that's a pretty big game. I'm sure a lot of people want to play it. I'm sure one of our 11 listeners. But anyways, I'd say overall I'm pleased. I just really wish that the map would have changed. I don't know. It's just it just got old.
Just got too repetitive.
I feel like the game kind of overstayed its welcome.
Right.
Like they should have just, instead of making me replay through the game 2 times, because the third playthrough was pretty different. I wouldn't say that the third playthrough was me replaying the same thing. It was basically kind of like two different single player modes. And the first and second were the same game played from 2 different points of views. And then the third was a continuation. Like, here's what happens after you beat the first one.
Right.
And like I said, it really just kind of overstayed its welcome, because I was still into the story, but I was so through with the gameplay.
Just done with.
I wish they could have just condensed it all into one sweeping campaign. That probably would have made me happier. But I really did like the themes and like the weird philosophical element that was behind it. And there was a pretty big twist in it that I thought was really cool.
That's
and
good, though.
I'm happy with it.
Yeah.
The storytelling was good.
That's good. I like storytelling, good games and good stories.
There was I saw a lot of people make comments about this game saying it was the best game of the year, which, I mean, this game came out pretty early in the year, so I think that's kind of dumb. But it also is for sure not true. I think people are just saying that because 2B is super hot.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt that that's a thing.
Because 2B is their waifu. So
Yeah.
I beat that, so that's nice.
2B is your waifu.
No, she's not. I just like her. I don't like her, okay? I just like her.
You want to fuck her.
Well, yeah, so do you.
Yeah, but whatever, dude.
So, other than that, and Overwatch, I've been playing Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor.
Oh,
which is
yeah.
an amazing game.
I want to get that and play that before the new one comes out.
Yes, which, I'm not going to talk a lot about it. I just want to describe the Nemesis system. So there was one of the very first, like, or at least in a long time, a really revolutionary thing that they did in this game. Like, actually revolutionary. And it's called the Nemesis system.
Something new?
Yeah, that no game has done before.
Holy shit.
It's called the Nemesis system. And what it is in the game, there's like a hierarchy of orcs. And any orc can become like a captain, basically. And there's like a whole hierarchy of them. And let's say you're playing the game and an orc kills you, which is rare because this game's easy as shit. The gameplay is basically Simon Says. But it's also very well animated and very satisfying and cool as fuck looking. It's very fun to play, but it is really easy. But every now and then you do get killed. It happens. And let's say you get killed just by like a normal ass peon orc. That's just like nothing special about him. He's just a run of the mill enemy. That orc gets promoted to a captain, and then he becomes special. Things get added to him to make him like a more special character. He gets fears and strengths and weaknesses that are all specific to every special orc character. And let's say you go out and you find him again, and you fight him again. That he will remember aspects of the last time you fought. Let's say you set him on fire. You like kicked him into a campfire. There's a chance that when he meets you, he'll say, he'll have like a giant burn scar, and he'll be talking about how much he hates you for burning him like last time, and how he's going to kill you this time.
Right.
Or how he'll kill you again because he already killed you.
Well, they'll just, yeah, he remembers you.
And yeah, and there's little tidbits and stuff that make all of your fights personal with the captains. And there's so many possible. You could fight a captain and he could get scared and run away, and if he flees, the next time you see him, that'll be a new string of dialogue. And it's just, there's so many possibilities. And then it really opens up when you get the ability to control the orcs. And what you do is you brand them, you put your hand on them and stuff, and then they become your orc. And then you can establish you can brand an orc and then get him promoted to captain. And then he'll rise all the way through the ranks up to warlord, and then you've got your very own turncoat in the orc ranks at the highest level of orc office, and he's under your command. And then every orc in his chain of command is also under your command.
Dirty traitor.
I love it, and it's all getting me so freaking hyped for Shadow of War, Middle Earth Shadow of War. Brody, I don't ask much of you, but I want you to do this. I'm gonna link you. Obviously,
I can tell you're serious because you just called me Brody. You never call me that.
Obviously not right now, but at some point in the near future, I'm gonna link you a video in Discord, and I want you to watch it. It's about 16 minutes long, and it goes in kind of in depth into the way the new Nemesis system is gonna work. And how they scaled it up. Because now that I've watched this video, I am just like jizzing my pants with excitement. I've got more hype for this game than any game I can think of in recent memory.
Ooh.
Probably since Fallout 4. Have I had more hype for this. Shadow of War. But yeah, I mean, I guess. Oh, and also I got Vanquish today, which is another Platinum game, and the PC port is so amazing. It is the best Platinum PC port ever.
Really?
It's great. It's a great port, and it's a really fun game. It's only $20. It's old. It's kind of showing its age.
But that's part of its charm, right?
It was an Xbox 360 and a PS3 game. But it's just a good game. It's like an arcadey third-person shooter, and it's very focused on being mobile. And I don't know. It's a little hard to explain. There's not a lot. It's very original. There's really no other third-person shooter out there like it. I'm having a hard time here finding this video.
Well, while you're looking, I will just say that I have been playing The Forest.
Please tell me more.
On and off, and I'm enjoying it. I like that there's a story mode to this game, because a lot of these survival horror games are just that. You just gather and build and try to survive, and that's it. But this one has a story to it, and you search for things and you find clues, and you're ultimately trying to find your son. And I'm having a good time playing it, actually. So, did you find it?
I did find it. It's right there for you.
All right.
I promise you won't regret watching it. It's freaking cool, and I can't wait for this game. It's gonna be so fun.
So fun.
It's gonna be fun.
But yeah, I've been playing The Forest. It's been fun, and
why don't you tell me what's like the gameplay? What do you do in that game?
So the story is you're on an airplane. The airplane crashes.
First of all, I had no idea there was a story to that game.
Yeah. You start on an airplane. It's super basic. I mean, on an airplane crashes. When you come to, there are a few survivors, but and your son is one of them. Your young son. But you come to and you look up, and the half of the plane is missing, and there's dead bodies everywhere, and there is a menacing-looking man in like tribal gear, and he's got your son, and then you black out again, and when you come to, your son's gone. So the whole idea is basically you're out trying to find your son, and you start the game out with an axe. There's an axe buried in the chest of a stewardess from the flight. And that's what you get to start out the game, and that's it. And then it's just collecting berries and food and medicine and other things, cloth and sticks, and then you can make bows and ropes. and you're just trying to find your son, but where the plane crashed, I don't know if it's an island or where it's at in the world, but this area that you're in is completely full of these cannibals, and they're very creepy. They make creepy noises.
Tell them about the spider baby arm boob monster.
And and they're
So I every now and then when I see Brody's on Steam, which is rare, because usually he plays Overwatch and that's it. I'll ask to like watch. You can spectate your friends on Steam, which is kind of neat. You can spectate the games they're watching from your own computer, or the games are playing from your own computer. So I'll spectate Brody, and I did that with this game, and within 5 minutes there was a crazy spider-legged, baby-armed boob monster, and it was the weirdest thing I've ever seen.
So what it is, yeah, I don't know where these things came from. I don't know.
It must be some kind of weird voodoo black magic thing.
Something. But so I'm going to read off the names of these monsters. I don't know if you can hear my kid. She's being very loud. So
I can't hear anything. It's stupid.
There are these cannibals called skinnies, which that's just what they are. They're just skinny male and female cannibals, and they run around.
Do the females still show their boobles?
Yeah, they still got boobles.
Oh my god!
I know. And they run around on all fours, and they're fast, and they make funny noises, and it's kind of spooky at night. Then there are the regulars, who are just more. They don't look as malnourished as the skinnies. They look like they eat more, and they kind of have like white face paint, like Urukai do. And there can be different ones of those. Like some of them have weapons, some of them don't. Some of them have lights that they've made out of skulls, which is weird. But yeah, they have those guys, and those guys are fast too, and they're mean. They're slightly harder than the skinnies. There are babies in the game, and the babies are actually very funny.
Babies? Aww.
The babies are actually really funny because they have like a nub for a leg, and then one real leg, and then a nub for an arm, and a real arm, and then they're kind of just like derpy looking. But they're harmless when they're by themselves. But they're never by themselves. They're always in like a herd. And if you come across like 6 or 7 of them, they do a lunging flip attack, and it's fucking hilarious. And if you get hit by them in a row, they stun you, and they can do some damage. So watch out for the babies. Then there are things called what did you call them? Vagina monster? Vagina leg spider?
I called them spider leg baby arm booby monsters.
Well, those are called overgrown mutants. So the one that Matt was talking about, it does have 6 legs and like 4 or 5 arms, and then it has a couple.
And they're baby arms.
Yeah, and they're baby arms, and the legs are like daddy long legs. And it has a couple of heads, but no discernible like facial features.
Really? I thought the legs were like just like human legs that were like sewn on to just like a weird homogeneous mass of flesh.
They are, but they're super long.
Oh, okay.
Like they're long legs. It's really, yeah, I don't know. They're tall. And it also has a vagina, a couple of vaginas. And
it's got vaginas on it, dude?
Yeah.
I do not remember seeing that. Wow, Forrest.
And it has a couple of pair of boobs.
Couple of pair of boobs.
Couple of pair, yeah, because it does. It's got like 2 pair of boobs. So there's those, and they're fast and they're strong and they're hard to kill. And then there's one called and the name of that is Virginia, which is kind of funny. And then there's Blue Virginia as well, which is just a tougher version of Virginia. Then there is mutant babies, which are the babies I already talked about. There are Armsies, which is Did
Smeagol name that one?
Armsies. And it's basically the reverse of the leg vagina monster, where it has 3 legs, but it has like 9 or 10 regular or slightly longer human arms. And it's the same. It's faster. It's stronger. If it hits you with one of its 19 arms, it does some serious damage. So you got to watch out for that. Then there's Cowman.
Those baby arms pack a wallop.
They do. There's Cowman. Cowman has 2 baby arms. It's like a fat guy. And he's got big legs, big old fat guy legs, and he's got man tits. And he's just kind of bald. But he's got tiny ass little baby arms. Everything has baby arms. And his attack is a running attack where he just charges you and it knocks you down if you get hit. And then he stomps on you while you're on the ground, and it's pretty devastating. And then there is pale cannibals, which are just cannibals, but they're pale. And that's pretty much it for the monsters. That's all the monsters there are.
So what is it that you like about like the early access survival genre so much?
I think it's just the gathering and the building part of it. Like, I love building, especially in this game. This game has a really cool building system where it is you can lay out the entirety of your fortress without having any materials. So I can go to my little book. I open my book.
Yeah, it's like setting up a blueprint, right?
Yeah, exactly. And there's there's blueprints for walls, floors, roofs, houses, tree houses.
I remember seeing gameplay of this.
Bridges.
And that it was like that.
From trees.
It sets up like a hologram of what you want to build and tells you what you need. And then you go gather it and it like kind of just like appears in the hologram.
Right, yeah. So it lays it out in like the walls are like 4 logs tall. So in order to fill those up, you need 4 logs. So you go find 4 logs, and then you walk up to them, and then you place them, and it fills the white outline up with the 4 logs, and then boom, you built a wall. So I like being able to...
And then boom!
And then bam! I like being able to lay out everything and then go and search for materials and then bring it back and build it that way. And the tree forts are really cool. You can build stuff in trees and bridges in trees. You can make a whole base to where you're just walking around in the trees, and that's kind of cool. I don't know, just the whole hunter gatherer. There's a lot of there's animals in this game, and you can make a bow and arrow, and you can hunt them and skin them and eat them and make clothes and armor and beds. I don't know, man. It's just I really enjoy that kind of stuff.
Well, let me get this straight. I enjoy that genre too, but you're like obsessed with it. Like ever since I introduced you to that genre of game, and Overwatch has been like nearly the only game that you play.
That's true.
I don't know if that's because you just simply don't have a lot of time on your hands right now, but
kind of
that's how it's been.
But at the same time, I don't know.
If you had all the time in the world, do you think you would like be branching out to more games, or you just stick to Overwatch and that?
If I had more time and more money, I would for sure be playing a whole plethora of games. Which soon,
I guess it's understandable.
Hopefully, it will be happening soon.
I assume that I guess it's understandable when your time is backed up on the ropes. You just stick with what you know you like.
And it's so hard for me to, because I get to play games so infrequently that I don't want to start a game with a good story. Or
it's hard to get into that kind of thing.
Exactly. Yeah. It's hard. Like if Skyrim would have come out nowadays, I wouldn't have liked that game nearly as much, because I wouldn't have been able to put the hours into it that I did and get so like engrossed into the story and become my character. And it just wouldn't have had an effect on me like it did. So, that's just because, like you said, right now I'm just super busy with school and trying to get that shit figured out. But once I get, a job that pays me and I get steady hours and I get a normal job, I think that's going to change. And that also money will help as well.
So I have a question for you.
Yes.
And just kind of a talk about the state of the quest. So here's the thing, all right? The rules have changed for the quest a bunch of times now. And at first I was kind of like, man, this is kind of dumb. What is the quest anymore, And I thought about it, and I'm like, here's the thing. The quest has always been the end goal of the quest has always been for me to just complete all my games,
Right.
and not feel like I wasted money on buying all these games that I'm never going to play. That's always been the goal of the
base
quest.
of the quest for.
And the rules are only there to facilitate me doing that. So to me, it's like as long as I'm still reaching the end goal of completing, as long as I'm making forward progress, the rules don't quite matter, but there still needs to be something there, because if I don't have rules, I'll just play whatever I want till I get bored like I usually do.
Right.
So I still need, basically, this is my problem. Nier took forever to beat, and now I don't remember what game is next. I know that I had a list of games, but that's kind of bullshit. So it's like, I'm just wondering, like, should my rules now just be like, should I just like pick a game and be like, this is the game I'm going to beat, and it can be whatever game I want, but I have to, that's the next game on the quest. Or should I just go back, start from scratch and go back to alphabetical order?
Is there? I'm not super familiar with Steam. Is there a way that you can make like a favorites list?
Yes, there is.
If I were you, that's what I would do. I would go through your entire list.
That's 400. The number has gone up, Brody.
Listen, man.
The number of games on Steam is now 481.
If you're not going to take the quest seriously, then fucking what are we even talking about this
How
for?
fucking dare you?
Then you better
I
fucking
take the
sack
quest
up.
serious as shit.
You fucking sack up.
You are not
Okay.
invested in this.
You
Okay, you're just
you
giving me
fucking sack up.
stupid bullshit advice that you aren't even thinking about. You're just going on a whim. That's hard, all right? I'm not going to put that much time. I'm not going to sort 481 games into a numerical value of how much I like them.
Well, then you don't care.
That is 100% wrong.
Then you don't give a shit about the quest and why you even doing it. Fuck it.
Now I know you're just being
No,
shitty,
man.
So
Go through your games.
I'm not doing that. It's ridiculous.
I'm not saying, okay, I'm not.
What do you like better, Brody? Alien Breed 3 or Another World?
I'm not saying that you have to go through.
Where would you put that in the list, huh? What number? Give me the number out of 481 it would be, Brody.
396.
That's stupid.
I'm not
You just said
saying.
an arbitrary number.
No, man, listen, I'm not saying you have to go through all of your games
That
right
is exactly
now
what you just
and
said.
make a favorites list, okay? And maybe put like 10 or 15 games in there. And go through
Look,
those
that's
games.
That's not even how the favorites list works. I make a game my favorite, and then it just goes into my favorite list and goes into alphabetical order.
Well, then do that. Make a game.
I can't go in there and say this game is my favorite game out of all my games, and it'll just be in the same alphabetical
No,
order.
I'm
it
not.
was.
You're not listening to me. I'm saying what you're trying to get at. You need to just make it. You need to break it down, because the way you're looking at it, you have 481 games.
Just on Steam.
That's a stupid, ridiculous, impossible number to say I'm going to beat all these games. You have to break it down into smaller numbers. You have to break it down into chunks. Just because I say favorite game doesn't mean that it's your favorite game ever, or it's your favorite game on your Steam account. I'm just saying pick 10
that's what it
to
seems
50.
like. And now I just feel like you're backtracking.
Pick 10 to 15 games that you want to play and you want to beat. Then beat those games. That's your list. You can do them in alphabetical order at that point.
That will change. That'll change with the times, man.
Does
When
it?
a new
No,
game comes out, I'll be like, no, I want to play this game.
You can't. Too fucking bad. You know what you do? If you want to play that game, you buy it, you download it, and then that goes on your list after you beat these 10 or 15 games. But you have to break it down into a smaller number, because you'll never beat 481 games in just a willy-nilly order. It'll never happen.
I feel like you just mishmashed both of my options together.
Yeah, kind of. But that's going to be your best chance for beating all of those games. You're never going to alphabetical order. There's no way.
It's worked so far.
No, it hasn't.
Yeah, it has.
No.
I've beat 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games so far, going alphabetically, which is way more than way farther than I've ever made it before, and I'm still going strong. The only reason this question has even been raised. The only reason this question has even been raised is because I can't remember what game comes next.
No.
It's not because the quest is in jeopardy because I can't do it anymore. It's because I don't know what game comes next.
You're not going strong, Matt, because if you were going strong, you wouldn't have beat Nier, you wouldn't have beat Mass Effect, you wouldn't have beat all these other games. You'd still be going in alphabetical order.
That doesn't make any sense.
Yes, it does. If you're going to do something in alphabetical order, that's how you do it. You don't go alphabetical order unless I want to play something else.
Nope.
You want to complete the quest?
You're not helping me.
You do what I say.
You're not helping me.
You're
just arguing.
Pick out 10 games, put them in your favorites list, beat those 10 games. You can't play any other games until you beat those 10 games.
Not going to do that.
Then you'll never complete the quest. I have no faith in you. No, you don't.
Clearly.
None. I have zero faith in you.
Jeez, no faith in me, no faith in the podcast, no faith in anything.
Whoa! I've got faith in this podcast. I put my heart in...
This is it, everybody!
I put my heart and my dick in this podcast.
You put your words, and even those are fake. Oh, shit, dude.
Damn.
This podcast is getting fucking real, dude.
Oh, my God.
Oh, it's hot in my apartment. I would have the air conditioning on right now, but it's loud and it picks up on the microphone.
Matt's a consummate.
Just one more sacrifice that I make that Brody doesn't have to.
Matt's a consummate professional, and we tested the volume before, and I noticed that he could hear his air conditioning, and then he listened to it, and it was too much. So he's sitting over there sweating, blood, sweat, and tears, ladies and gentlemen.
For this podcast, I put it all into this podcast, and Brody puts a little bit into this podcast. So
I do just a tiny bit.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I thought you were going to make a thumbnail for our last episode. Didn't do that. Just like I said.
I did.
You did not.
I sent it to you.
You said you would send. You did not.
I did too.
You did not. You 100% did not send it to me.
To send it to you.
I am looking at my messages right now.
Fuck. I have to send it to you.
You did not send it to me. So there. There's just a bunch of shitty memes. And
of course there is. Here, I'll send it to you right now.
A picture of Bruce Jenner because I can't remember his new fake name.
His new fake name.
It says, the face you make when your pussy gets hard.
Gross!
That's not the picture, dude. That is Dean Winchester sitting in front of the freaking... That's Dean Winchester in front of the fucking ghost, whatever the fuck, Ghostmobile from Ghostbusters.
Yeah, man.
Ecto-1.
Yeah, that's the one. Make it our...
So you didn't even edit it. See, you're lying right now. He didn't even edit it to begin with.
No, man, I made it.
He did. Oh my God, this is clearly a lie.
No, I made it.
You did not. If you're probably making it right now, so you can send it to me and be like, see, I made it.
No, I am not.
I know you too well, Brody. I know you way too fucking well. I can hear it in your goddamn voice, you prick.
You don't know me. There.
So, I don't know what the fuck to do with this quest now, man, because I'm definitely not doing that.
Well, then, like I said, you can ask me for my
Dude,
advice.
that's the same picture unedited.
No, man, he's a little closer.
It's totally unedited. You were gonna blur out his face. That was the whole reason.
Oh shit, that's right. I forgot. That's what I was.
You don't even remember. Oh my God, you're old and you have no commitment.
Oh man. Oh shit. Hey man, I read a really funny story this afternoon.
Dude, we're not done with the quest yet.
Oh. Yeah, I gave you my two. So you asked me for my advice. That's my advice. You can take it, or you can get fucked.
I think your idea is viable, but I want to do that. It's too complicated.
You can't ask me for advice, and then when I give it to you, you go, fuck it.
Well, I'm being a dick about it, but your advice is valid, and I do finally understand what you're saying, even though I feel like you backtracked and changed your point of view at the end to make it so it actually resembled some actual advice. But here's the thing. I've got a little subfolder on my desktop right now that I made like a week ago that is it just says quest games. And there's games in there right now. And I think that I'll just assemble some games and I'll put it in this folder. I don't know how much, because I could put any number of games in here. I'll just make it like 5 games, I think.
Okay.
Just because that's a number I just picked out of the air right now.
Okay.
I'll make it 5 games, and those are the games in alphabetical order, and I'll beat those games. Which is basically your idea.
This is 100% what I just.
But I changed the number, so now it's my idea.
You changed the number from 10 to 5.
And I already had the folder open, so the folder already exists.
I'm telling you, man,
So
that's
now it's my idea.
That's the way to go. That's the way to do it.
So that means that the next game on the quest is finishing Alien Rage Unlimited.
Oh boy, that sounds like it sucks.
Like I said, man, it's just a generic shooter. I'll be able to do 2-hour bursts, and it probably isn't going to be a very long game. And after that, I get to play Gears of War 4, which isn't a Steam game, but it's in there, so.
Nice.
But it's in my folder, so.
Oh, did you see what came out on what's on Steam now?
No.
Black Desert Online.
Oh, yeah, I did see that.
Yeah. I kind of been wanting to pick that up again.
I still have it installed on my computer. I went back to it a couple of times.
Once again, I just don't have the time to play a game like that right now. I don't have the time, man.
Why do you need time to play that game? It's not like you're trying to get invested in a story. All you do is go around and grind fishing or grind mobs or stuff like that. Plus, you can auto-fish.
Auto-fish, that's true.
I love me some auto-fishing. And my sexy girl.
Sexy girl.
My sexy gal.
So, I read a really funny story this afternoon. About
this
afternoon.
What is this? Don't Starve Mega Pack? I'm sorry.
This guy.
Ooh, Don't Starve Shipwrecked?
What?
There's like a DLC for Don't Starve.
What?
And it's Shipwrecked. Oh my god, this looks so cool. Dude, we gotta play. Why haven't we played Don't Starve together?
That's a good question.
That is a huge oversight on our part.
And it's really.
You have Don't Starve together, don't you?
I don't, but I will buy it because it's right on my level.
The Don't Starve Mega Pack is only $3.
I'm buying it.
And I don't have Reign of Giants and Shipwrecked, which together will be more than $3 because stupid reasons. Oh wait, no, that's right. Yeah, I'm getting it right now too.
Don't Starve. I want to get Don't Starve together, correct?
Well,
I'll just get the Mega Pack. Yeah, it's $12.
Oh, the 317 must be for.
It's because you already have
my
some.
price because I already own a couple of them.
And Shipwrecked? Yeah, dude, I'm buying that for sure right now. Oh, dude, we're gonna play that.
Oh, I'm so excited! Look, everyone, we had a giant fight and we're still friends.
Man, I'm gonna fuck you later.
Oh, baby. I don't think I took that where you thought it was gonna go.
Nope.
Dude, I'm pretty sure that a lot of people think we're gay.
By a lot of people, do you mean 10 because that's who listens to our podcast?
No, I mean people who know us in real life.
Oh, really?
It's just a hunch I have, but I think it may be the case.
Whatever. A lot of people thought that me and my best, even my parents for a while thought that me and my best friend TJ could have been gay.
I think that just happens, dude. I've been accused of that with every single best friend I've ever had. Same thing with me and George in high school.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. My best friend TJ and I in high school, it's just because I hung out with him legit every single day. And people were like, well, they don't have girlfriends.
I think we're just making commentary on humanity at this point.
Yeah, I think so too. Did it download? What the fuck is happening right now?
Dude, it's a really small game. It probably downloaded in like 2 seconds.
Holy fuck, it did. Okay, so anyway, I'm just going to finish the story real quick, though.
All right, yeah. Okay, continue.
So
I'm listening.
This guy was, got on Tinder and met a girl, and they hooked up. Okay. He was like, you should come over, we'll hook up. So they did that. So he tells her right from the get-go, he's like, this is what it is. I'm not looking for a girlfriend. I'm just looking for a hookup. She's like, cool, me too. He's like, also, after we hook up, you just kind of basically got to get out because I have work in the morning. And she's like, okay. So they hook up, and then he's like, all right, that was fun. Peace. And she's like, actually, I'm kind of hungry. Do you mind if we have dinner together? And he's like, you know what? I enjoyed your company for the fucking. Yeah.
Sorry, I was vaping.
So, yeah, sure, why not? And so they have dinner, and the dude says after they had dinner, she just fucking she passed out. And he tried to get her up, and he kept saying, okay, you got to go. It's time for you to go. I have shit to do. I got to sleep. I got to go to work tomorrow. And she was like, no, I don't want to get up. I'm tired. And so after trying, he couldn't get this woman out of his bed. She was just laying in his bed and just saying, no, I can't. I'm tired. So it got to the point where he went to Reddit for advice. He was like, hey, man, need a little advice. This chick came over. She gave me some good head. We boned. And now she won't leave, and she's asleep in my house. I keep trying to wake her up, but she won't budge. What do I do about this? And people were like, explain the circumstances. He told them what I just told you. They're like, yeah, you should go out and did she drive over? Did she walk, or did she ride a bike? He's like, she drove over. They're like, go check her car. So he checks her car. Out of state plates. The plates are expired by like 3 months. So basically, this chick got on Tinder looking for a free meal and a place to crash, and was willing to give some head for it, but didn't outright say that. She was just going to force it on someone, which she did. So this dude was like, what do I do? People were like, you know what? Fuck it. At this point, just call the cops. So he does. He calls the cops. He tells them what's going on. Cops like, that's funny. And then they realize how serious the situation is.
Yeah,
They're like, oh, shit.
I don't know what he expects the cop. Wait, why is it serious?
Because this woman is in his house and she won't leave. So
Okay, I guess it's trespassing at that point.
Right. So they're like, okay, we'll come over. We'll check it out. They come over. They finally get her up. And of course, the whole time she's like taking a nap or whatever. It's pretty much just she's faking it. She's just pretending to be asleep.
Okay.
The cops get her up. They get her out of the apartment. And the whole time this guy's updating on his Tinder or on his on this Reddit thread. He said the cops got her up, got her outside the apartment. She's in the back of the cop car. They're searching her down. The cops find a watch that the guy owned that he didn't know was missing. and a bunch of his mail. So this woman came into his house, stole a watch and a bunch of his mail, hoping that there was going to be money or something, I guess, in the mail.
Oh, geez.
Or maybe trying to steal his identity. He doesn't know. All he knows is that the cops found all this shit of his on her. She has outstanding warrants in like 2 different fucking states, and her car is full of like weird shit. So that's a little tidbit there for all you people getting on Tinder and just meeting up with random chicks. Probably not a great idea.
Yeah, just jerk off, man.
Yeah, that's what we do.
90% of life's terrible decisions could be avoided by jerking off. Matthew Obey, 2017.
That might be some of the best advice Matt's ever given me.
Did you really not know that before I told you?
I mean, I heard it before. I just never took it to heart.
Never put it together?
Yeah. And then you were like, I did it, and it totally works. And so
it does, man. It works 100%.
I do it sometimes now. I'm like, you know what? I need this, this, and this. I'm like, you know
Even
what?
in decisions that aren't sexual in nature.
Right. Yeah. Just everyday decisions. Like, oh, man.
Like before you make a big purchase, just go jerk it or flick the bean, depending on your equipment.
Or jerk the bean.
and see how you feel afterwards. Jerk to me.
However you like to do it. But yeah, that's the other. What was it? It wasn't too long ago. I was looking at getting a game, and I was like, you know what? I don't have the money for this, but I really want to play this game. So fuck it. And it was like a brand new game. It was like $60. And I was like, I can't remember. Because I jerked off and came to my senses and was just like, I don't need that game right now. And I didn't. My life isn't any better or worse without that game. It was so unimportant that I can't even remember what game it was.
Exactly.
So, you know what? Fuck, just jerk off.
Just jerk it, man. It's a good solution.
I'm gonna
just jerk it
all over me.
Just jerk it. If we had a commercial, that would be like our slogan. Wait, we do have a commercial. Hey.
Yeah, hey, everybody, go to our YouTube page. Check out the commercial that Matt bought us. It's pretty fucking amazing.
It is. It's amazeballs. So I also have a story I want to talk about.
Okay, hold on. Just real quick while we're on the topic of the commercial. I showed my father, who knows nothing of the internet, and went, "How did you do this?" He was fucking blown away, and he was just like, "Are these real real fucking?"
I had someone ask me that too. Like, are these real people? I'm like, yeah,
right, yeah. Are these real?
Of course
people?
They are.
And that's why I said to him, I said, "What do you mean are these real people? Like, what else are they going to be?" He was like, "Well, I don't know, man. Technology's pretty crazy. Like, so you just ask these guys to do that?" And I said, "Well, I mean, he paid them, but yeah, you can pretty much get these guys to do whatever you want for $25." And he was like, "That's crazy." He couldn't wrap his head around it. Okay, go ahead with your story.
So the Alamo Draft House is doing a thing.
Oh.
Wonder Woman is coming out soon. And they've decided that they're going to run a couple, like it's going to be pretty exclusive, but they're going to have a couple of showings of the movie that are exclusively women only. Let's see if I can find, that means all the staff and everyone, they'll only sell the tickets for those showings to women.
I hate the world we live in.
As like a feminist thing. Well, that saves me of having to ask you what you think of that. Because there's two sides to this. There's one side where men are saying like this is like super what's the word?
Sexist.
Yeah, sexist. It's really sexist.
It's 100% sexist.
How did I forget that word? And then then they come back with, well, now you're experiencing what women have experienced for generations and decades and centuries and blah, 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 which I think is a valid point, but it doesn't make it not sexist. That's like fighting Hitler with like a genocide of your own.
Right, exactly. Just because women were not allowed to vote and do other things fucking 60 years ago doesn't mean that you doing something like that isn't sexist. It's still sexist. It's just you're like, yeah, I'll get back at you fucking 80 years later.
It's not good.
Oh, good. I'm glad the Alamo closed in Kalamazoo.
Well, I thought we could get more talking out of that, but it sounds like the case is closed.
Nah, man, fuck these cunts.
Dude. Jeez, man. You know, I noticed that do you ever listen to our podcast and like try to view it through the vein of like a listener who knows nothing about us personally? I feel like if you look at it through that vein, I feel like if you look at it through that vein, we've started to develop, you know, our podcast is 31 episodes old now, and we've started developing personalities through the podcast that might be seen as different from our actual real life personality. And I think
you mean like characters almost?
Yeah, kind of like characters.
Okay.
And I think that I've kind of become like the whatever, do whatever you want. I have an opinion, but ultimately it doesn't totally matter to me. You know, I don't really care, but here's my opinion. and you have like a really strong, like, fuck everyone, well, I don't like that, so all those people should go die, because you say that nearly every podcast. And then I come back and be like, well, man, I don't know about that.
I do not.
And you're like, no.
But I do think
we've went over this before, and you do say it every single podcast.
Listen, it's just everyone that agrees with this Alamo Drafthouse thing should just get hit by a fucking truck. And that's all I'm saying.
There you go. Point proven.
No, man. I mean, seriously though, this is just, to me, I think this is silly. For the most part. I mean, obviously it doesn't affect me because I'm not a woman. And I don't really care about Alamo Drafthouse, so.
Hey, you know who looks weird? Nick Nolte.
Yeah, man.
Continue.
For like 40 years now. He's always looked weird.
Nick Nolte looks weird.
Oh man, he's always looked weird.
He's got weird teeth.
Nick Nolte has looked 108 since he's been 30.
I don't know, man. I'm looking at a picture of him right now, and he looks pretty suave in this picture. It's a movie that was made in 1989 called Three Fugitives. And it's got Nick Nolte, Martin Short, and Sarah Rowland Doroff.
Yeah, you know her?
Roland. Well, I recognize her, and she must have been a big thing in the 80s or something. Because I recognize her face, but...
Yeah. Oh, the only thing I can think of, and the only argument that I can ever think, because everyone does the same argument when something like this happens, is what would happen if the tables were turned? Like if Captain America,
that was something else.
If Captain America came out and they were like, "We're going to have a men only night because Captain America is a manly man, and he's for men."
Well, you're 100% right, man. Chicks would lose their shit.
There would be outrage. Or if we watched Captain America and it was like, no fucking Muslims. Like, that was... I don't want no Japs and Muslims and none of them. Blacks are okay as long as you're American.
I want to read a text that we did today. Okay. So Brody sent me this text.
Yeah, boy.
He said, "What do you call a homosexual on roller skates?" I said, "Brody Banks." He said, "Fuck you." And then he said, "Roll-Aids." And I said, "Oh my. That joke has quite a that joke has me quite in a stitch, good sir." And I have to say that I think my response to that joke was way funnier than that joke.
When I responded to that, of course, when you said "oh my," with the exclamation point at the end of it, I heard it in George Takei's voice. Oh my. And then you said, "That joke has me in quite a stitch, good sir." I was going, what is he doing right now? I didn't know if you were watching some like old-timey movie where they talk like that, or what the fuck was going on.
When I sent you "oh my," I thought of myself as like a posh British gentleman, so I continued my thing with that.
I noticed. Oh my!
I think it's hilarious.
That's pretty funny.
That joke has me quite in a stitch, good sir. Good sir. Well, I'd say that this podcast has hit the mark in length. Length and content. Do you have anything? Any last minute things you'd like to bring up? We should go watch Wonder Woman, by the way.
Yeah, well, listen, man.
How soon?
There's a lot of movies that I need to see right now. I still need to see Alien Covenant, which I think we should go see together.
Bad things. I've heard really bad things about that movie.
Don't care. I still want to see it, man.
I mean, I'll see it. I'm just saying.
I still have to see the King Arthur movie, which you saw with your mammy, so I got to go see that.
I'll watch it again if you want to watch it with your good old buddy Matt.
Wonder Woman's coming out soon. What came out this week? Something comes out tomorrow or tonight. What was it?
Allow me to look with an amazing, stupid fucking. What if I'm amazing technology?
Stupid. Fuck it.
Pirates of the Caribbean.
That's the one. Yep. Diary of a Wimpy Kid, but it wasn't Pirates of the Caribbean.
You actually want to watch that?
What, Pirates of the Caribbean 5?
Yeah.
Yeah, why not? Fuck it. I've seen all the other ones. This is the thing. This is how movies.
Need to watch
This is how movies are nowadays. I don't want to see anything except for Star Wars. Everything.
No, dude. No.
Everything else is just like, I've already watched the first 7. Why not watch the 8th?
You're wrong, man. I've got a movie that I've been looking forward to for a long time. It's finally out. We need to watch Smurfs: The Lost Village.
Oh,
together.
for sure, not going to do that.
Yeah, we got to watch that. I can't wait. I've been waiting.
Smurfs: The Lost Village.
Since I was born.
The new. I saw a poster for the new Spider-Man movie, and it has like.
How are they still making it?
It's got like 2 pictures of Spider-Man on it, and then like 7 pictures of Iron Man, and it's fucking hilarious.
Pictures.
Fuck you.
Pictures.
Pictures. They're really pushing this whole Iron Man's in this movie thing. Like,
yeah, really.
it's kind of like Iron Man. It's Iron Man.
Iron Man's in the trailer more than Spider-Man.
It's Iron Man 4, and his sidekick is Spider-Man. That's what this movie is. Which is just kind of silly.
Well, it's more like Tony Stark.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
A smidge of Iron Man, and then some Spider-Man.
And then some Spoder-Man.
Some spoopers.
Oh, also, just real quick, I wanted to throw this out there because I wanted to talk about this last time we did the podcast. I've been watching some stuff on Dauntless, and I'm really excited about that game, actually.
Yeah, I really wish that. Never mind. I'm really excited for it, too.
What? What the fuck is that, man?
Never mind. I really wish that, too, my friend.
Jesus Christ. I just signed up for the closed beta, so hopefully I get in.
Good luck with that, man.
Man, fuck you. I don't even know what you're going to say.
You do know.
I don't know anymore. Thought I did.
Yeah, well, you do know. It's just you're old and stupid, so you forgot.
I did.
But you know, deep down in your brain, you know.
That sucks so bad.
And you also know why I can't say what I was going to say.
Yeah, man, I know, but I don't know.
Yep.
Getting old sucks.
Yep, you're 48 now, man. You're no spring chicken.
Also, Gwent came out today. Well, it didn't come out, but the open beta did.
It came into open beta or something, right?
I kind of want to try that game and get into that, maybe.
Maybe.
You know how I like card games. Okay, we got to stop this podcast. I'm just rambling now. I'm just rambling.
You are rambling. You're always rambling, though.
I'm a rambling.
Your whole life is one big
I'm
ramble.
a rambling 78-year-old man.
You rambled right out of your mom's junk.
That song "Rambling Man" by Allman Brothers. That's about me.
Lord, I was born a rambling rat.
Was that the Allman Brothers? It was.
Trying to make a living and doing the best I can.
That's the Allman Brothers. See?
When it's time for pooping.
Okay.
I hope you'd understand.
All right.
That I was born a pooping man.
All right.
Thank you, everybody, for listening to episode 31 of the Just Some Guys podcast.
Thanks, everyone.
Again, we're on YouTube now. Look for the Just Some Guys podcast and subscribe if you like us and share us. Please, God, please just share us.
Please.
Share us with the peeps in the world.
For the love of God, please.
Don't share us with all your imaginary friends. They don't count as real people.
Don't do what we said to do earlier in this podcast. Just don't think about it and share us.
What?
Don't jerk off.
Don't. Oh, okay. I was like, why didn't you just say that?
Don't
'Cause you're
think.
confused.
Don't think. Just share. Okay. Because if you
exactly, and you too, Brody, you do that too.
Because
in fact,
if you go
every single time you see the podcast, share it. Every
okay,
time.
All right.
Don't even when you see Just Some Guys, think to share instantly.
Okay, all right. I will. I will.
I want to believe you so much.
I'm not gonna just keep jerking off every time I see. That's what I'm gonna do. Every time I see our logo, I'm just gonna jerk off.
No, don't.
You'll never share.
Be like, yeah, I'm okay without this podcast. No, you're not. You'll die without it.
It's true, I will.
You'll keel over and... All right, everybody. Goodbye.
Bye.
Thanks again.
Hey, everybody.